What is going on?
What's going on, guys?
What's good, everyone? I'm Mast.
And I'm Migs.
And we are Woof Logik. This is Woof's Web.
Our podcast.
Your favorite podcast, baby.
The number one podcast in the IE.
In the IE, PLP. Bueno. Damn, did you see that shit about IE and Friends? Caesar's not going to be there no more?
Yeah, but because he's starting his own podcast.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's the direction. But.
Well, I was watching a little bit. I was just confused. So is he going to still be like under their umbrella, or is it going to be like a whole different thing?
I have no idea. All I heard was that Saul said he's going to be like producing it, at least the first episode. I don't know. But I'm pretty interested to see how that goes. At least the new podcast, for the IE and Friends thing, I did see a comment saying like, oh, they should just combine Aaron into Bueno, which wouldn't be a bad idea. Although it's hard to drop that the IE and Friends whole identity thing.
Yeah, I mean
that's what started it all.
Yeah,
it's the biggest one.
They built a lot with it. Like they huge brands. Like they get a lot of like ad deals. Like it's the bigger one. Like people might like Bueno because it's just
the humor.
The humor, but like as the IE Friends one, it's just a bigger product.
Yeah.
And then plus also it's just when you add a new person in, it's already like so it's gonna be fourth guys, and then it can get a little chaotic sometimes.
Yeah, but they're all homies. I think the chemistry is fine. Yeah. It should be at least, but definitely excited to see where that goes.
Yeah, I am too.
It's a big shift in the IE podcast sphere. And then shout out IE and Besties too. They're doing their thing too with La Platica Studio thing.
Sazon.
And then shout out our boys PLP.
Yeah,
they're still doing it consistently.
Bitches, where my shirt at, man?
Hey, facts, man. That shit better come ASAP. I paid for shipping, even though I know I'm gonna just get that shit hand delivered.
That's crazy though. I literally wanted to tell them like $7 for shipping. I'm like, you guys are gonna hand this to me.
It is $7 for shipping though. It's like 6 to 7.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'd rather talk to them about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, the merch looks cool. I like that Mexico design. That's when I got the black one.
I got the black. I was gonna try to get the green one, but that one sold out in my size. They only had like large, and then
damn, they sold out on that size.
Well, an XL.
An XL.
Yeah,
and so you got a bunch of big bags out there.
And then the PLP one, Dave was telling me it's kind of like a poncho one. The one with like the Techno order.
It's because the oversized one.
Yeah,
it's because that shit is like it's when they make oversized tees. For some reason the style isn't really like it's hanging low. It's like hanging this way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's kind of like almost like a crop top, but actually like your waist level.
Yeah, and I'm like, I got panza, man.
Yeah, I don't really like the oversized thing. I think the better fit is loose fit.
Yeah.
If you go to like H&M and you compare oversized and loose fit, you would think like, oh, it should be the same shit, but really it's the oversized is like more forward, probably for like bigger fools.
Yeah, I mean
that are still trying to keep the same yeah.
If we get it in time, I'll wear it for Saturday.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that. I don't think so though.
No.
But speaking of Saturday, we have a show for this not new collective. It's a new sub label or sub, event group of this event company called Inland Groove. They started Rush.
That's what it's called,
Rush. Just Rush, right?
Yeah, because Inland Groove's primarily just been like a house, tech house, kind of scene out in IE that's been very popular. Shout out Eddie, man. He built that, and it's coming out beautifully. And now, people like love the harder stuff, but so he's putting it on a new umbrella called Rush.
Yeah, Rush, and we will be headlining. This is, I think, our first headline show, especially out here in the IE. I don't think we've ever really. I mean, the last time we played out here, or technically, was Countdown, but before that, I don't think we've played out here since fucking like OMG events.
Yeah.
Unless I'm tripping. Did I forget something?
No, right? Nah, not really. It would just be OMG events or some of your old house parties.
And if you guys didn't know, that's like from 2016. So that was a long ass time ago. But I'm definitely excited to finally have a show out here because for the longest, the IE hasn't really had like notable, EDM events. Aside from Insomniac, of course, because everyone thinks Insomniac's LA, but really most of their shit is out here in San Bernardino.
Yeah.
But shout out Electric Jungle. They were doing their thing, and I think that opened a lot of doors to to other people, starting things out here.
Oh yeah, shout out Electric Jungle.
I think they were like the first ones to like actually pop off out here.
They were, yeah, because I always remember seeing that name first, and then see Inland Groove, and who knows, maybe it's vice versa. I just haven't been keeping up, but that's just how I saw their names first.
Well, yeah, I think definitely it was Electric Jungle because I think I think it was during the pandemic when they started, and then they kind of got the cheat code where they were right next to the Nas Center.
Yeah.
So it's just it's perfect timing, perfect location to start something off because you're gonna get all the new faces and literally across the street. So it's easy for people to want to go to some afters because these festivals end like at 2 a.m. So some people want to go to fucking 7 a.m. and shit.
Yeah.
Remember they would rent out rooms.
No? Oh yeah.
Yeah, they would rent out like rooms at that place, which is pretty crazy. So it's kind of like a little camping thing going on, but I don't know. I have trust issues. I can't trust, especially knowing it's in the Dino.
Yeah.
I can't trust people like that. But man, I don't know if you've seen the Jason, his fucking car got broken.
Dude, I felt so much for the dude because like, I think he said something like someone when we took our photos, he said something happened to his car too.
Really?
Yeah, I think he mentioned something about it, like, oh, someone tried breaking his car. Right when we met him, and so when I saw that, I was like, bro, this fool can't catch a break, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it is. I think maybe Hondas are just more likely to get broken into.
Oh hell yeah, bro! Like I'm not taking my car. If anything, I might just Uber. It's only
like
Uber,
right? Yeah,
it's like $10.
Yeah, I would just Uber as well. We're probably gonna do that. It'll be a little bit pricier for us, but not too bad. It's worth the price,
Yeah.
Because taking your cars, especially in San Bernardino, that's just gonna get broken into, no doubt.
Yeah.
That's the reason why we stopped parking out by the Nas when we go to festivals.
Oh, we used to do that.
Yeah,
too.
we used to all park out there in the streets, and luckily we've never had our car broken into there, right?
No, not us, but we'd always hear homies like, "Damn,
homies
someone broke into my car," and I'm like,
oh. Yeah, we would park in sketch ass streets where there's no lights, really.
Well, although I think their parking system is kind of cool because it's not even near the event; it's in a lot nearby, and then you get picked up on a little bus, and they drop you off right there. So it's pretty cool.
Well, I don't know if I think it is in the same area, but it's not the same venue.
No, but I think they've always seemed to do that where they'll do a parking lot and then they'll pick you up so that way there's like no cars.
Yeah, this company does use shuttles. We haven't gone to a Rush before, but for Inland Groove,
yeah,
they do have like shuttles, and they say security parking lot where like it's monitored, but I think maybe there's like 2-3 people, so still, be a little skeptical, but I would trust it.
Yeah.
It's not the worst spot to park. You just gotta park where they tell you to park. Don't fucking park like anywhere outside of it. You know?
Don't be that one random car in the corner, and then all of a sudden you're
trying to be up close.
Cars broken into, like glass everywhere, and I was like, no, why? And I was like, because you parked far as fuck.
Yeah, and then same thing with LA. If you could park in like a parking structure and then Uber to the spot, maybe that's a little better too for the afters.
Yeah.
Because afters, no matter where you go, it's always gonna be fucking.
It's sketch.
Yeah, it's always sketchy.
Homeless.
The best thing is to park kind of like with where all the other cars are at, because you got a better chance of your shit not getting broken into. But if you're out on your own, then you're just asking for it. You gotta have more street smart than that.
Yeah, I have not, bro. I have like the last couple Fever shows we played. I was parked in some dumbass areas just because it's like because we get there pretty close to the time, so like everywhere's parked nearby. So I had to far as fuck, and then there was like I'm like the only car like within like a mile. I'm like, damn, I shouldn't be parking my car here. So
you're crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you playing with fire right there.
Yeah, I mean I can't. I told you I lost my splash guard last. No, I remember that week it was raining bad.
Your splash card?
So it's that little metal thing underneath the car.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I lost that shit.
In the rain?
So I ran over a piece of wood. I didn't even run over. I saw it was a big-ass piece of 2x4, but it's pouring, so I'm not going to go out and like fucking move it out the way. Probably should have in hindsight. But I just like kind of, and there's no way I can move out the way because I'm on the right side, and there's not enough for me to go on the left side because the car's coming. Yeah. So I literally just drive over it super slowly, like, and all of a sudden I hear scrape, and I'm thinking, fuck, the fucking wood piece is still under. I go outside, and that shit just fucked the whole thing up.
Yeah, no, those splash guards are weak sauce, man. These companies need to fucking get these things more, like a super glue or something, Gorilla Glue.
Yeah.
Because even my shit broke off when it was raining and there was like a
It
flooding.
did.
And bro, I was going slow as shit, man, and it still fucking came
Yeah.
off. It was scraping the whole car at home.
I mean, the cool thing is they're cheap. You can buy them online cheap.
Yeah, well, my shit broke. It broke, and then it also broke a piece of my bumper, like on
Oh.
the inside. So I paid like 300, and then they're trying to get like another 300 on top of that. But I was just like, nah, because I seen they Mickey Mouse fix that shit because they didn't have the part in stock. So they just did like a temporary fix, but it's still working. So I just left it at that. I just paid the first part. I was like, which is the guard under, and then the bumper, I just left it.
That's how I feel with my front teeth. So I technically have root canals, but I need crowns because whenever you get a root canal, especially in your front, like yeah, you need some caps and crowns or else like because it's like temporary fixes. It's not gonna like resolve. You're gonna fuck your teeth. But they've been telling me that for the last I don't know 4 or 5 years. That every time I've gone to a new place, oh, you need new caps, and I'm like, no, I don't. I'm there just fine.
Yeah, I think I might need new caps too because I have the fucking crown on like these 2 teeth over here.
Yeah,
but sometimes I feel them aching, like those specific teeth.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't know. I fucking hate the dentist though.
Me too.
Yeah, that's probably my least favorite thing to do is going to the dentist. You know, doctors are one thing, and you know, ER rooms. It's just I think with those though, it's more about like being patient.
Yeah,
That's the part that sucks. But when you go to the dentist, the shit that sucks is just having to keep your mouth open and being awake through it all.
yeah.
Bro, just put me under.
Put you under or just get that laughing gas up. I've yet to see a dentist where they actually use like the Nas gas on you.
Yeah, I think that's more if they're doing like actual procedures where they got to put you to sleep or like almost to sleep, and it's mainly for kids, because I think for adults they kind of just expect you to just be able to tolerate it more willingly, and they just numb you. But man, that first puncture when they're numbing you and you feel them pushing it more in. Yeah. Oh my god, that shit fucks me.
Hurts.
Yeah, that's why I was even watching a video about surgeons. Mm-hmm. I'm like, man, people really got to have steady hands to do these type of procedures, and because I can't even imagine how guilty I would feel if I fuck someone up, bro.
Fuck yeah, bro. I learned early on in high school. You remember, like, did you ever take biology class? You had to cut up in the pig.
I didn't get to do that. I missed school that day.
Yeah, bro. I had an overdeveloped, but this pig was about to be born. This thing was damn near fully developed. And like even the teacher told us, like, if it's fully developed, you gotta have to crack its jaw open. And I tried, and I was very squeamish, and I let the girl, that was my partner, I let her do it, and she had no issue. And I was like, I knew right then and there, like any career path I had in the medical field is gone. Right. I'm too squeamish.
Yeah, man. I actually was thinking about being a chiropractor because I'd be knowing how to crack my back good. Mm-hmm. Like especially on the EPJ, man. The one I'm using is like it's a single driver kind of where you're like where you're centered. I don't know if you've seen these the EPJs where you know the ones where you hold on to and you like kind of swing around.
Yeah.
The one I'm on, or we have both versions. That one, like the long one, and then you have the little one where you're standing in the center, and it's like a wheel like this.
Oh, I have seen those.
Yeah. So I use those, and with those, you have like something behind you, and so I get to crack my back good. Like I just go like, and then I know how to get like from up here all the way down here. I just go, and then I go a little bit lower, squeamish lower, and then I gotta lock in, and then so I feel like I have some potential being a chiropractor. So maybe one day. I've seen when I was on Indeed, man, I seen that they get paid pretty decently, and well, you know, these fools are just sitting waiting around, just waiting for the next client, and then when they do get them, it's like what 20 minutes.
20 minutes, like $100.
Yeah, and so that seems like a good thing, like a good little career path. Yeah, one day, and then it's also fun hearing people's reactions. You know.
Oh, I love watching videos of people getting their back cracked and shit. It's so funny.
A lot of the videos are funny, man. Those people that are well known, like on social media. Yeah. And like the types of people they get, and then you know when there's certain people and they get certain comments. Yeah. That's just fucking funny. Oh man, but EDC Mexico just passed up, bro.
I don't know if talk about it, man. That shit looked fire.
Yeah, it looked fire. A lot of DJs had good things to say about it. There was only one bad experience, I think, which is Layden Giordani. He said he missed his set because of the traffic. Damn. And I actually heard about other people mentioning the traffic problem. It would take them like 3 hours to get to the fucking venue.
Yeah, I think it's I don't want to say it's not in the middle of Mexico City, but like, first of all, Mexico City is a booming, bustling place. It's like the Mexico version of New York, bro. It's like this, bro. You have to you have to know where you're going out there, man. So and especially when like it's like Mexicans love fucking EDM, and EDC Mexico, they fucking thrive for that shit. This is their thing to go. So like their whole country comes in like that whole weekend, so it's like popping. So you have to kind of just be mindful like of traffic.
Yeah, man. But it's so hard. That's the main thing I'm scared of when it comes to like touring in other countries. It's just like being able to get by, and then like you gotta like plan super far ahead because of these little detours and like unexpected things. And that traffic problem, that shit sucks for as an artist. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know the situation exactly, but you would think there's like specific like shuttling and stuff like that
I know for sure there was some they had because they offer shuttling. Like, hey
for
man,
Vegas,
yeah, like hey, just come here, we'll pick you up and drop you off. But I feel like there may have been a mishap somewhere where someone didn't use their time well.
Yeah, maybe because sometimes artists aren't capable of getting there super super early because of, they're touring and
that's true.
dealing with other flights. So maybe there was that situation where he was coming from somewhere else and the timing just wasn't right.
Damn.
Or at least he thought it would be, and then obviously traffic.
Yeah.
And so
do you know who played in this
Nah, I don't know. That's why if you're an up and comer DJ and you're around the area, maybe you're playing like a super early time slot on a different stage, just always stay ready and prepared for a backup set, because that's how Slander actually got their big opportunity.
Really?
Yeah, it was a Nocturnal 2014 or 15. I forget which big ass artist on main stage. I think it was Showtech or something. That they were late or they missed, and so Slander took over on main stage.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and that was like their big break, literally.
I mean, that's what happened to us.
Pretty much, yeah. It was what's his name, Puya.
Yeah,
Puya. He missed his set, so we got his time slot because we didn't get to perform because they opened the gates too late.
I know.
So, yeah, it ended up working out, man. So always stay prepared. Always take your laptops if you can, if you're willing to trust people, because sometimes people get their shit stolen backstage.
Yeah.
But yeah, because for a while, bro, I never realized it, but I wasn't taking my laptop to these gigs, and I'm just like, bro, lucky I should be because shit happens.
Yeah.
And sometimes we have sets that are like specifically for a specific time slot, and if you get a different time slot, then it's just like the same set isn't really gonna work out, But that's why I think I took it to the last event, Countdown. Yeah, I did take it. Yeah, I did take it just in case. But yeah, man. What was I gonna say? EDC Mexico. I'm wondering how that fucking if there's more airports over there, like closer by.
I know. It's just the main one.
Just the main one?
Yeah.
Because that's the thing over here at Countdown. I mean, well, for San Bernardino events, a lot of these artists don't know about the Ontario airport, which is literally 30 minutes from the venue.
Yeah.
And they come from LAX, and that's fucking way more traffic, especially during the event hours.
Yeah, I mean, that's bad. But also, sometimes it just depends because it's Ontario, it's not as big of flights going to there. You know, like, or just it makes more sense to be cheaper to go to LAX.
Yeah, that's true.
But like, if you're talking, and that's the point, like, are you trying to save money or are you trying to be more guaranteed?
Yeah, it all depends, man. I know it's a whole different lifestyle when you're actually like nonstop on the go touring.
Yeah.
Some like for people like us, we have all the freedom. We can go the day before if we really wanted to.
Yeah.
And play super safe. And then there's fools that literally are on like a time crunch. They'll be there. They got like 30 minutes to spare, or like they're literally like 10 minutes. Like I be watching James Hype's vlogs, and this was like got me. He's like giving me anxiety with how like last minute he's going. Sometimes they're literally like speed racing on the fucking and the Uber XL and shit, just fucking trying to rush, And then when they get to the stage, or not stage, when they get to the event venue and like the fucking staff is being hard headed and not like cooperating well, like because you got to show credentials and all that, but when you're like fucking trying to get through, you're trying your best to like convince that staff member that you're actually performing and shit.
Damn.
Yeah.
James Hype, you're crazy.
There's a lot of crazy stuff like that, dude. And I think that happened to him at Tomorrowland. Yeah, I think it was Tomorrowland. I feel like there's another big festival that just happened. No, EDC Mexico, right?
Nah, I was just EDC Mexico.
Well, that shit looks sick, man. I really want to go. Hopefully next year. It's super cheap if you guys want to try it out. It's like $200 USD at least. And I think They had Ray Burger out there, which is dope. Shout out Ray Burger.
He had a crowd. I was like, man, shout out to him, man. He
I noticed that our car stage was different than ours.
I think that one moved. That's why.
Not only that, but it literally looked different.
Yeah, it
like
did.
the design.
Yeah,
it's probably Mexico's art car.
Yeah, it's so tight though.
Yeah, it looks tight. And then who else? I feel like there's other artists out there that we should be knowing. But there's a lot of sick ass artists, man. The lineup never fails. I feel like they do really good with their lineups.
I saw that. Did you see that shit? What happened with Dioro though?
What, that people didn't fuck with the Spanish music?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I could have sworn he would have known that by now, though. We've always been told that.
Yeah.
Like, that.
It just kind of makes sense because, like, I mean, it's like big out here when he does it because we're Mexican Americans, so we obviously fuck it. But when you go to Mexico, like they hear that shit all the time. That's like the last thing they want to hear.
That's like coming to the U.S. and playing fucking Taylor Swift bangers just because it's popping out here.
Yeah.
It's just like,
I mean, but in his defense, like he said, he only played like 2. Actual music. The rest were just kind of like remixes
or his own productions.
So I guess even then I think that's also like a minority because I saw some people like that were out there that were just like they were loving that shit.
Well, from what I've seen is like if you play a different genre, or maybe if you're in the more niche stages like hardstyle or dubstep, you're probably going to get a better reaction because those fans are probably super in the know with those genres.
Yeah.
So they probably, like how me, like I don't listen to mainstream, music that much. It's like, okay, so they're not hearing that shit every day, to where if you're on the main stage or something like that, you're just kind of like more often than not, you're just like an average, fan.
Yeah.
And so you're probably listening more to mainstream music more frequently, so when you hear it on main stage, it hits a little different. Or it's just like, man, I'm always used to this shit. And so what was I gonna say? I don't know. The crowd must have been really, really bad for him to realize that the energy was whack. Because when you're on a stage that big, bro, it's hard to really gauge what's really popping, unless of course you hear it. But like, there's a lot of times when people when a song calls for jumping, and you could see it, but then there's also times where you want people to enjoy the song, but the energy isn't always gonna be like let me fucking dance and go crazy type energy.
Yeah.
It's just like, I'm just enjoying this while chilling type thing, So for however he realized this, it must have been like really like noticeable,
I mean, there was so someone he put it on Twitter, and then someone like replied with like some TikTok, and then it was all some Spanish dude that went like it was like him at EDC, but not like him. It was just like when people put the backdrop and they're pretending they're there.
Oh yeah.
And then he's like saying in Spanish, he's like, bro, like that lady, that Paquita de Barrio. He's like, yeah, she just died, bro. But like, come on, bro, we ain't trying to hear her song. And then a lot of it in the beginning was geared toward like, okay, he's clearly talking about Dioro, and the other parts here he's talking about like other artists, like random artists playing like just random like cumbias or stuff, and like, bro, like I don't want to hear this, I want to hear EDM. And then at the end, he had said something that was pretty universal when it comes to EDCs. He's like, oh fuck it, whatever, I'll just watch Armin van Buuren and Tiesto. And then someone was like, what do you mean they play at the same time? But the stages are close, right? What do you mean they're fucking far apart?
Crazy, man.
It was all in Spanish. I was like, damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's wild. I wonder like what other artists were doing then, because
I know a bunch of people will do it because they think that they're gonna like it, and
yeah, right. I mean, because I even seen someone say like, this may be the wrong example, but I could have sworn I seen someone say like, Steve Aoki did it and everyone went crazy.
I think it's time and place, and also I think it's just a song as well, like maybe because if someone plays fucking Caballo Dorado and they hear that shit fucking 40 times over a weekend,
yeah,
and people like, come on again, bro.
It could also be that for example, Steve Aoki, he's Asian. It's just like, as a fan, you probably wouldn't expect him to know shit like that. You'll probably expect him to know like the big songs.
Yeah.
But when they do their research, then all right. But when it comes to like artists like Dioro, I feel like he's like the main name in Mexico as far as like he's their Tiesto pretty much.
At this point, yeah.
So it just kind of like comes off as cheesy maybe. Like that's how I could see it in their perspective.
Yeah, I think so.
It's like once you hit that certain level, it's just you know, it's easy to piss people off.
Yeah.
So it's weird. It's a weird thing in the industry, but it is what it is. Honestly, you just gotta just not even let the fans really like phase you like that. You know? Because you're not gonna be able to make everyone happy. And I promise you, this fool fucking made 90% of the whole crowd happy at least.
Yeah, and then there was another post too that posted after that on top of under it where basically the guy said in Spanish was like, you know, I know people were saying this, but at the end of the day, if you were happy playing this shit and you saw at least some people were happy at the end of the day, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
And then he responded with like 100%.
Yeah,
which is true.
Yeah, because let's be real, man. Like, I think that just goes to show that it's getting played out or burnt out, but like the very least is it's getting the attention.
Yeah.
You know, 10 years ago, you would not get any fucking song played out. You know what I mean? Well, maybe Kennedy Jones.
Shout out Kenny Jones.
But like, all right, let's say 20 years ago, you wouldn't get any fucking Latin song played out.
No.
So, you know, it's definitely showing that the culture is making a big movement in all fucking demographics. And it's cool to see, you know, finally, you know, this shit's happening. Shout out Chan, shout out Ray Burger, shout out Dioro, shout out who else in the Latin EDM. Well, technically Junkie Kid, he's from fucking Mexico, so
shout out Junkie Kid, shout out they love him out there.
Yeah, exactly. Well, he actually is the one, you know, playing those niche genres, but I feel like if he does play a Spanish song, it's like one or two.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he knows already what's like a burnt out Spanish song and what's like still kind of like it not tapped in, you know. But yeah, hopefully we get to play EDC Mexico one day.
I would have loved to have been this year. Like seeing your boy, the other half of Boombox Cartel. Like I saw like, little clips of him with his back-to-back set and his prime time like solo set. I'm like, damn, this was killing it, bro.
Yeah, he got 2 sets.
And then the people,
those Eki stage looks sick this year.
It's so cool, man.
And then Quintino played on it too.
Fucking shout out fucking Keizo. He's bringing back his old like harder like fast paced sound, which is the shit we fucking crave that shit. That was our favorite Keizo.
I think that's when Keizo got his biggest like big boom.
Yeah, the boom, man. Like that 2017 Hard Summer set. I still play it back just because those first like 10 minutes is like just like shoot that shit in my veins.
Yeah, the energy is unreal.
And shout out him for shout out for him for starting off his set with the Ty Guys remix to this time.
Oh, he started with that?
Yeah, he started off with that.
That's sick, man. Shout out Ty Guys, dude. They've been grinding since probably we've been doing this shit.
Yeah.
And you know, I think that was their big break too, is with the whole Keizo remixes, bootlegs and shit.
Yeah.
Like that's when they got a lot of recognition. And, you know, to see that Keizo reached back out to them for that shit. I mean, first of all, Keizo, why the fuck don't you have that shit anymore?
Yeah.
I guess a lot of shit happens throughout the
you
years.
lose. Bro, even, you know, sometimes I don't even have our songs on our computer, and I have to, like, actually download it from the SoundCloud.
Hell no. With this old-ass laptop right here, I got all the old shit. I got music from fucking, 2012 maybe. I mean, technically, I got older songs, you know, but as far as, like, you know, when you got the old Malaysian songs, you got the fucking 2015 trap. I promise you guys, I got so much old ass music from your favorite artists before they switched genres. Like, let's see, who's a good example? I know I got .com's music in there, which is Marshmallow. And then I got who else? I got a couple other bigger artists. And I'm just like, what the fuck? They played this genre back then?
Bro, what's that one song? What's that twerk song he did it?
He has like a couple of them. He has like a handful.
Damn, there's like.
But Booty Wop is one, and then there's I think it's just called Twerk, no, or I don't remember.
I remember, but man, if he would just play that as Marshmallow, I'm like, that's fucking cool. I'd be like, fuck
he should, man, because then it's just like a hint at like, oh, if you know, you know, type shit, you know. But yeah, so shout out Hive Mind too, dude. I really want to see that set.
Yeah.
Because when they first kind of launched their whole new brand, you know, they play like a lot of IDs.
Which is a lot of just like their own stuff. They just made.
And I could have sworn they already started releasing music a long time ago, but I guess not. And so this first release, it's cool, but it's definitely not any of the ones that I've been hearing in those clips, and I want those ones, man.
No, they have some here, and also it made sense at the time because it like before they started that, like, Keizo's always been on the hard stuff. Must Die as of late, he still does dubstep, but even like he's dabbling, and the shit he does is crazy. And then Space Laces,
he can just do fucking anything.
Yeah, he can do anything. So like when they decide like, oh yeah, we're gonna do like like a hard style, like hard dances, like trio. I'm like, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, man. Hopefully they fucking take off because I know they got all the talent in the world to like make the best fucking hard music.
Yeah.
Those three minds together, like it's gonna be crazy. So keep an eye out for that new project, Hive Mind. That's definitely the style I want to kind of like tap into because they have like they're hard like they're hard techno almost, but with their own style, you know.
Yeah.
Like they have the thing is a lot of people are scared to tap into sound design because it's like so different than when you're tapping into certain genres, it's different to tap into like sound design. Like Matroda, for example,
Yeah.
he sounds like Matroda because of his sound design, and a lot of house artists don't really do stuff
And
like that. You
they'll
know what I
just
mean?
use
They'll just
ready-made
use samples,
presets or
yeah,
samples.
samples.
But they'll sound fire, but I'm like, it won't be sounding sensual. Like, you know, I who I fucking love. You showed me to him, and then Alex hop on the way. Those dudes, hi, dude.
Oh yeah, hi
They've
dude.
been like the first. I don't want to say they're the first ones that implement like dubstep sounds in the techno, but they're the ones that do it like tastefully. Like it
Yeah,
sounds dope as fuck.
yeah, exactly. Them, and then you got Luca Lush that kind of does that
Oh
too.
yeah, Luca
So he's
Lush.
really good with sound design. So it's just like people that use their sound design, it just makes them sound like them
Mm-hmm.
compared to just using samples that everyone else is using. So that's the reason why when you hear like a Keizo song, you kind of tell it's Keizo. So with Hive Mind, I can already hear the sounds that they teased in their IDs,
Yeah.
and you could see like it's definitely influenced by them and their sounds from their other projects. So another artist that would do that was fuck, I had one in mind. Um, but even if you hear like us, like if you hear like whenever we tap into other genres,
Yeah.
you could see that we're not scared to bring in sounds from other projects or other sounds. You know what I mean? Because some people kind of want to go like traditional routes and shit. Oh, Psycho Boys Club was the one I was gonna
Oh
bring
yeah,
up.
yeah.
If you hear Psycho Boys Club's old songs, you could hear like a certain direction, and it's like consistent. So that's kind of how you build your own sound. And shout out those guys. I miss those guys
Yeah,
for
me
that
too.
project.
But I mean, they're thriving. Like them as solo artists, as Triptych, and even now it's still tonight, but him just as hard techno. Like this was putting out shit ton of releases under like just a bunch of like hard dance music and or I just call him Julian, but that fool like he's literally touring all over Europe now as under Triptych. People like love his sound now.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Hard dance music right now is the wave. It's cool. I feel like this is the root of really the rave culture because if you started raving like in the early 2000s, late 90s, this is kind of almost the sound that was kind of like popping off. There
Yeah.
was obviously, you know, UK garage or garage, however the fuck they say it. And there's drum and bass, jungle, whatever. But I feel this was like the root of it all, where like people when they think of raves, this is the sound they think of.
Mm-hmm.
And so right now that it's popping off, you know, it's really cool to see people actually dig it, and like this is what brings the energy now. This is what brings the crowds. And even Dimitri Vegas, like and like Mike, like they're tapping into this subgenre. So for a big name like that to kind of co-sign on this, it's just showing the direction of the scene right now.
Yeah.
And you know, I feel that's what drifted away from EDM for a good couple of years is the dance part, and now we're going back into the dance part because it is kind of all like everyone's doing techno type shit, but at least dancing is back now, you know.
Yeah.
Whereas before it was just who's making the weirdest dubstep, you know, and or who's making the weirdest like bass sounds, bass trap, whatever, hybrid trap, and you know, I feel that it was cool. It's cool to play like every now and then, but for every set to be that, it kind of like slows the whole energy down and slows the tempo down. And I'm just happy to see the direction where we're all going. But people are saying supposedly progressive house is making a comeback.
I mean, I'm all for it. I love it. I love progressive house.
Yeah, man. We got to go back to balance. We got to have progressive house booming on this stage, hard techno booming on this stage. You know, even though there's stages that are separated by genre, and I feel like there's still a mixture of balance on the main stages. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's still not really like super flowing well. Like I don't know really how to explain it, but there was definitely a time where everyone's playing the same genre on the main stages.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I'm just happy that we're getting more diversity, and we got bigger artists on different stages now. Because we always that was the big struggle, is having um big staples on each stage.
Yeah.
Because now they got to put fucking Sarah Landry on main stage, and
they have to. Like they learned a lesson from Beyond, man.
So unfortunately, she blew up too damn quick. But we need more of those.
Yeah.
That's on cool. It's cool to see 9x9 and I Hate Models. They're playing over here more frequently.
Yeah, it's cool. I like that. I like they're putting drum and bass on like the main stage, like Dimension and Self Focus. Like I think it's super cool that they get their time to shine. I mean, they've been OGs for a minute, but now people are loving it so much that they get their little spot on the main stage.
Yeah, exactly. So that's cool, man. Is there any other EDM news that you've noticed lately?
I'm sure there is, and it's gonna come to me right now, but I can't think of it.
Oh, well, you know what? Doolab just released their lineup. I don't know if you looked at it.
I glanced at it, but I can't remember who was on it. But all right, so do they always do like the tent reveals, or?
Yeah, they do it later.
Yeah, because I mean, I never go to Coachella, so I never bother checking it out.
Yeah, they've always done it later. I noticed there's a lot more house influence, unless I just don't know my shit. But definitely this time around, it's not as multi-genre.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, there's only like a handful of artists that I know. But most people in the comments, I think, are saying that the lineup's good. So I guess I just don't know shit. And
I mean, there's a lot of house.
Although I will say, I'm pretty, look, I don't want to sound like I'm bitching, but I've noticed there's a pretty good amount of shows now where they're booking talent that don't even make music. And I'm just like, man, all these years, because look, we're DJs first. I got no problem. But the reason, the big reason why we tapped into the production is because we knew that you gotta make your own music to play all these big events, big stages and all that, to even get fucking eyes on you. And that's respectable. That's understandable. So we did it. And now it's just like everything's going in reverse. And shit, I just wish we knew this shit a long time ago, because this production part of this artist side is very time consuming, right?
It's very time consuming. It comes with a lot of headaches. And honestly, I love producing music, but there are times where I am just like bashing my head up against my computer because I can't figure out if it's sounding good or not. It's like I end up spiraling. Mike sees it all the time. And it's just something we took upon ourselves when we decided to make music.
I will say, man, the best thing is knowing that we have music and knowing like that when we play shit, it's nothing anyone else is playing. One, mm-hmm. Two, when you get crowd reactions out of it, that's always like the most satisfying thing. Because, like I said, no one else is playing this, and it's
like shit that we made. Like, this is our song, and people are going crazy over it.
Yeah, exactly. It's shit that we started off in like my fucking room, and then now it's fucking making waves on the big stages, and then when you get artist support, that's always the big thing. That's always like another great feeling. So there's no complaints on the production side. The complaint is when you're being told something, and for especially all these years, and even I bet you if you have a conversation with someone that's booking or someone that's in the business side of music, mm-hmm. they're always gonna tell you make music. But then they're gonna have their, I don't know if it's favorites or what, but they're gonna have their specific artists that they handpick, and they get to play on these big stages, and it's just like crazy. But it is what it is. It's part of the game. You're gonna have celebrity DJs. You're gonna have fucking influencer DJs, you're gonna have DJ DJs, and then you're gonna have producer DJs. So it is what it is. It's just a mixing bag right now. But I don't know. Hopefully, I just want those hardworking artists that we've seen kind of go through the struggles of not really getting those opportunities for whatever the reason being.
Yeah.
But just knowing that they at least make the music, because we're all told the same shit. Make music. I just hope we get more of the up and comer artists that are actually making their own original shit. They get more opportunities.
For real. I mean, there's too many I can name right now that are like such good producers like that we're like huge fans of, and they don't get booked for shit. Like, and we never seen them on anything.
Yeah, and unfortunately, it is a lot of like a numbers game. It is a branding game. Mm-hmm. So where if your social medias don't look good, then it's not really going to catch people's attention. If you don't have the followers or the engagement that people are looking for, that's the downside too. So I guess if you're going to have one or the other, that's pretty much going to be your forte. But I always still recommend you try to get a balance where you have your own music, you have your own social media content, you have the high quality photos, the high quality bookings and shit like that. Because you always gotta take that into consideration. That's kind of what we're gonna start doing too soon. Is like, don't fucking always just take the local gigs. Don't always take unless they're like notable type shit. But just don't take the bars that are down the street. Don't take the fucking clubs that are down the street so fucking often. It's cool to do it, maybe once every couple months.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're doing it like back to back weekends or back to back months, and maybe twice a month, it's kind of just you're gonna burn yourself out with the crowd. Not really, not so much yourself get burnt out, but like the crowd is gonna get burnt out seeing your name.
Yeah,
it's a psychological thing. I think it's not really like, oh, this DJ sucks. It's more so like, oh, the value of seeing this guy. It's like I see them on lineups every weekend anyway, so I'll just catch him the next time.
Yeah.
So shit like that. But yeah, it's a at least I know there's still shows out there and there's a lot of more opportunities. It's just about people kind of taking not shortcuts, but kind of jumping past all these other producers that have kind of gone downplayed, not downplayed, but I don't know. People deal with a lot of mental shit when they're not seeing the success of their music production.
Yeah.
And it's not taking them to those places that they're told, like, if you do this and that, that you'll get to.
Yeah. I'll speak for myself. There were plenty times early on when there was a cool part where we were just grinding on music like month after month after month, and we were seeing results, but it was like not to where I'm like, fuck, like, is this even worth it? Like, we're really like not killing ourselves, but man, like we were like, I guess you say we were burning ourselves out, like the way we were like at the rate we were going. But I mean, eventually we saw fruits of our labor, and it made it all worth it. But it was some dark times.
Yeah,
mentally.
I definitely gotta say, if you guys are watching this and you're a young artist, I would definitely say, although it will eventually be a burnout, I promise you, I feel every artist is gonna have a burnout. So it's best to have that burnout while you're young, because it's gonna make or break you, and it's really gonna tell you like if you're built for this or not. If you burn out too early and you could still manage to get past that and keep going, then I'm pretty sure you could handle like a majority of this industry later on.
For sure.
Because if you experience it later, after being like, let's say you're young and you're getting all these cool things, all these cool opportunities, and then all of a sudden you're older and you pretty much come to like a plateau, then you start thinking too deep into your head, like, fuck, I had all this glory, I did all this, and now I just fell off. I feel like that's a harder mental toll on you than when you're younger and you're just burnt out from straight up production. When you're burnt out from straight up production and rejection, you always got to tell yourself that that this is a part of the game. And if you get past this, then that means pretty much that you're built for it,
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, they get too in their head when they're older. It's a tougher thing to deal with because, things start to change in your life with your family. Things start to change with your loved ones. Things start to change with like bills and shit.
Mm-hmm.
So it's easier it's a lot more, I feel you're more capable of getting through these tough times when you're younger. So I would suggest overwork when you're young, fucking grind. I mean, you're going to have more energy anyway. And then
that's facts.
And then start to learn structure and all that, like throughout the years. It's going to come with time and practice. But yeah, man, I think it's definitely rewarding when you finally get those cosigns, those big cosigns.
Yeah.
And email people, because one thing I've noticed is we are definitely getting opportunities, like really dope opportunities we never got in the past. But I think that just goes to show that we've built a portfolio or a resume, at least on the social media side, that shows notable things, like as far as performances, artist support, and just like quality of content. And it took us a long time to get to this point, but now we have that whole portfolio. So we were getting a lot. I feel back then, I don't know if maybe just the scene changed or whatever, but I feel back then we for sure got more a variety of achievements. Maybe because we're also first time for everything.
Yeah.
But now I feel like I still have a lot of the exact same what was I going to say? I get a lot of the same a feeling of accomplishment because I'm noticing it's just quality, 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 not so much quantity. You know what I mean? So now that we still get these show opportunities, especially bigger ones, and I feel we get a lot more respect from people that are bigger than us. That are like we get a lot of more respect in the industry. Um, it's a lot better. It's a great feeling. I don't know. I'm trying to say that I'm getting a lot of the great feelings that we got in the past, even till this day. Even though I know that back then we probably got like way more artist support.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
No, yeah, for sure.
As far because one thing I for sure got to improve on is emailing promos, shit like that.
Yeah.
That's like a forgotten thing I've kind of been a victim of is emailing promo shit. I'm just kind of like in the mindset, just posting and just letting the streams or whatever and the social media do its thing. But you always gotta like email people and shit because closed mouths don't get fed. And a lot of time artists, even me, bro, when we get promos sent to our emails, there was like a long time where I would just not even look because I'm just like, I'm gonna find my own music anyway.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's a forgotten method, at least on our end, to send promos out to bigger artists. But it is also a tricky situation because artists don't really check their promo emails anymore.
They
either.
don't. A lot of, I mean, like, a good example when we played that 4B show, and 4B's been like a big supporter of our music for a while now. Like, we asked him to like, oh, what, like, because he was in a rush to leave, so we asked him like, oh, what's a good time to send you more music? He's like, bro, just send me on IG, like I'll check it out, and he does. Like, we haven't sent it to him in a while, but whenever we do send it, I'm sure he will check it out.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes people prefer Instagram DMs. I feel like a lot of techno artists prefer SoundCloud DMs for whatever reason, and then people prefer email. But I think a lot of time people just say email me and just to kind of get you shut up.
For real.
So that's why when it comes to the email shit, I just don't even really bother because you kind of read through it.
Yeah.
But for us, man, send it to us anywhere. I think Instagram will probably work the best. But I'm definitely listening to more promos and emails whenever we get them. So send that shit. And yeah, we just dropped a new remix for Nico Moreno's track "You Make Me Horny," and it's a dope ass track, man. It's definitely it's almost. I feel like there's some tracks that you could just hear right off the bat, like, oh, this would be sound cool if you just change the tempo or if you bring in these drums. Like I feel like there's a lot of tracks that would sound dope as drum and bass tracks
for sure.
And then now for this one, this house, what is it, like G house or some shit?
I don't even know. It's like I
feel like it's technically G house, but maybe I'm wrong.
It's house though. Like it's a little on the faster pace because the song was at 116 for it to work and still sound like okay. I had to put it at 135, which is it's still in the range of like house.
Oh yeah, for me preferably I prefer like the faster tempo house because it's easier to blend with other genres and tempos, and then I just feel like faster is better sometimes. Not always, but a lot of time for like live sets. If you want to keep the energy going and people moving, you gotta speed up the tempo. Like for like I always bump up our 125s to 130s, 128s, 130s.
Yeah,
I just feel like I don't know, it's a bit more smooth that way. Smooth operator. Is that how it goes?
Yeah, it does actually.
Smooth.
I mean that's why I make our songs at 130, just because I know like why am I gonna make ourselves like our life difficult on making some random track 127, 128, and we gotta move it up, and I'll just keep it at 130.
I think there was a one time, like I think it was during the Vendetta era. We sent Yellow Claw some promos or demos, and I think Neil said like, "Oh, it's too fast." What song was that? Do you remember?
I remember he said, I don't know which one it was.
Yeah, it was a song he was just like, oh, it's just fast just to be fast. Oh, I think it was Parasite, I think.
Yeah.
And so we never released it with Barong. We just did it on the album.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then, but hey, that song still got support from a lot of artists.
It did, man.
Yeah, so it's gonna work for some artists. Don't feel like let down because that specific artist didn't fuck with it. Because there's a lot of other artists that'll play it out. Your career is for you and yourself. It's not for your the people you've looked up to.
Yeah.
Because sometimes that kind of like makes people change direction. Is like when they get told a certain critique or opinion from a higher up, and it kind of makes them change. Like you got to be you and stick with what your gut feeling. And yeah. I don't know if there's anything else you want to tap into, but
Steve Smith Sr.
Who's that?
Homewrecker.
Steve Smith,
the Panthers wide receiver.
What do you do?
Oh, you didn't see that shit? I guess some guy caught his wife cheating on him with Steve Smith Sr. and proceeds to post like the messages his wife was sending on social media, and then calls him, and he's like, Steve. He was like, hello. He's like, bro, you fucked my wife, and he goes like, I'm sorry. And then it was like a whole ordeal because like this fool did not give a fuck. And then like on Nightcap, Unk and Ocho were talking about it, and they're like, it's funny because they never said Steve was wrong when he was clearly in the wrong too, because this motherfucker's married too, I think. But they're like, bro, you need to tug it up with your wife. Like Steve Smith Sr. doesn't have any loyalty to you, which is true. But I'm like, if anything, you're making yourself look more bad putting it out on social media like that.
Yeah, damn, that's crazy, man.
Yeah, it's like a whole thing. I was like, damn, this was crazy.
Yeah, I was literally like, man, this fool's like old.
Yeah.
And shouldn't he be married? And
he is married. That's the thing. That's why I was like, this is crazy.
Shit, man, these athletes, bro. Even fucking Stephon Diggs with Cardi B.
That's crazy. Even Andre was telling me about it, and she's like, "What you know about Stephon Diggs?"
Yeah, man. Fucking what's his name? It's not Quavo. It's Offset.
Offset.
Yeah, my boy, man. It's. I feel like it's a gut punch when they go with like someone, as big as you or bigger, like in a different industry.
Yeah.
Because if it's like someone that you're bigger than or you're more successful than, it's just like, you downgraded. But like she kind of just changed industries, and this Diggs is no like, I mean Diggs is a superstar, so
he's a superstar. I'll say he's objectively handsome. He's a nice looking dude. His attitude's terrible on the field. That's why he's getting bounced around from team to team.
Yeah, but we'll see how that shit goes. I feel there's a lot of change up in these rappers and fucking athletes, like stupid ass Jello. He done cheated on his girl.
That's crazy, bro. I'm like, I know your dad did not raise you to be a no cheater, bro.
Yeah, man, it's crazy.
Yeah, I'm like your dad must have been, that fool must be hot, bro.
Yeah, fucking Jello.
I seen clips of them. Cause remember they used to have like a little reality series, and that shit's just so funny to me because I saw there's a part where, I guess he was asking Lonzo for, I don't know, for money or something, and so he's like, Melo's trying to get it out of his pocket, and then like you hear his dad like, hey, he's like, hey dad, you gotta watch out for your sons, man. All these fools are criminals, and they pan to Jello, and Jello gives him this look. I'm like, you dig? Because this is during when he got caught up in China.
Yeah, they always be clowning on him about that shit. And then even when was it? Their last podcast, he was Jello was like, yeah, man, I always take it easy on the NBA break. And then Lonzo was like, damn, well, you got all year. And then this was like, oh, you got jokes.
Yeah, bro.
Or you want to be a funny guy.
He's never gonna let that down. At least not in between his family.
Yeah, that's funny, man.
Did you see anything recently in movies?
I did see The Monkey.
I saw it too.
I didn't like it.
You didn't like it? Oh,
I watched it and it had me locked in for like the first half when it was like showing the fucking crazy ass killings and all the death parts and shit. But man, that humor, it's just not my cup of tea, bro.
Dude, that was me. I was fucking cracking up in that theater.
I was cracking up in like the first half, but then once it was just getting too out of hand.
No, you know what I will say? The funniest part for me was when they were when all the shit when there was like the flashback with the kids. When they were kids and every little comedic bit, I was fucking dying.
Yeah.
And when they killed their uncle by accident.
That's what I was gonna say. Like the kids, I loved everything about the kids scenes. But once they're like grown ass adults and it's still like weird as fuck.
That's where it lost me because I'm like, all right, so your brother's trying to kill you. I was like, nah.
And it's just the direction because even with Long Legs, like I don't know, the humor decisions is very weird.
Yeah.
For me, it's just I don't like movies that just are weird just to be weird.
Yeah.
Because then there's no substance. It's just like, all right, so what am I supposed to be taking serious here? Like,
no, that's fair. Because I was still watching the movie when they were adults, but it was like, damn, like where's this going?
It was a good watch for sure, but yeah, I don't know. I think it was just I feel cheated.
Yeah,
I thought it was gonna be a horror movie with some funny elements, and it just lost its balance after the first half.
Yeah. I did think it was funny, and it didn't even happen in the movie. It happened in the theater. You know that scene where like the dude gets killed by the bees?
Yeah.
And so I was still in the car, and some lady just like, "Get the fuck out the car already!" She shouted that shit out, and I was dying.
Yeah, fucking bozos. It was so cool. I think the director of these films, I'm still gonna be watching his shit because it's like intriguing.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to say this movie kind of landed in the realm of that one movie that Jordan Peele did, the UFO one, the alien.
Nope.
Yeah, Nope. See, it's just like it has substance and it has like promise, but the delivery is just not good. Like it's hard to tell what to take serious, like what's real, and like I don't know. It just lost. It lost what it was going for. I think.
No, I did. It's just only because like I was kind of buttered. Like this is where it's gonna go. You're gonna have just the brother be all crazy. Like, and they showed it early on. Like this was trying to kill him. And I'm like, really? This is? I thought I thought they were gonna band up and trying to take out this monkey, but like, nah, this was like worshiping him.
Yeah. Yeah, it was weird. But and then I think the main turnoff part for me was the pastor.
Oh, the pastor. That was.
Cause look, it was funny, but like, come on, bro. Like, I'm supposed to take this movie serious with this shit.
Yeah.
It's like this isn't real life, you know. So
yeah, a pastor would not be that young or.
That's what I mean, or young or goofy and shit. So that's why I'm just like, all right, now I see where this movie's going, and I feel blue balled.
Yeah.
Bamboozled, because it genuinely looked scary, like in the trailers and shit. Like it looked freaky.
It did.
And if it just stayed kind of like free, like if it was just morbid the whole movie, cool. But when you try to be funny, that's when it's just like, all right, now like this half the shit isn't even landing because I'm just like checked out a little bit because I'm just expecting like a super senseless horror shit. But now it's just like you're trying to be funny and horror, and it's just like, nah.
I will say some of the deaths were just kind of straight up like, what the fuck? That's crazy. When the girl swam in the pool, I'm like, no shot.
Yeah, man. But interesting watch to say the least. I think there's gonna be a lot of good movies this year.
For sure.
I did see Captain America. I actually liked it.
I told you.
I actually liked Captain America. It was good.
Yeah.
I went to movies twice this fucking weekend.
Hey man, you gotta do what you can.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we're gonna go ahead and close this one off. We appreciate y'all for watching, and we hope to see you guys this weekend at our show.
Please.
Yeah, buy your tickets now, $10. I'll put the link in the description, and we'll see y'all next week. Peace.